Captain Midnight.
Kylo Ren is the villain I never knew I wanted. When Adam Driver was cast back in 2014, I was a little skeptical. The whiny guy from Girls was going to play the heir apparent to Darth Vader? It seemed crazy. How could anyone hope to match Vader's iconic status as one of the most intimidating villains ever put on screen? Especially this guy. And the truth is, he couldn't. But they knew that. Instead, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi made Ben Solo's struggle and failure to live up to Darth Vader the cornerstone of his character. But while Episode 7 only suggested this, Episode 8 really leans into it. And as a result, Kylo Ren has probably the best storyline in the movie.
The Force was with Luke Skywalker. Will it be with you? Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back video game for your Atari.
What I think works so well about Ben Solo is that he seems almost entirely driven by two things: rage and insecurity. And it's that second part that's so interesting. We've seen angry guys bent on world or galactic domination in plenty of blockbuster movies, but the insecurity driving Kylo Ren feels pretty unique. In his first scene in The Last Jedi, we see Snoke telling him that even though he has raw talent, he's a disappointment. After all, he managed to lose a lightsaber battle to someone who hadn't even held one before. But why did he lose that battle? Sure, he got shot in the shoulder, that definitely didn't help. But I think what people don't talk about enough is how emotionally compromised he was. He had just killed his father, and that's bound to mess with any normal person's head. But Kylo Ren doesn't want to be normal. We see how angry he is about this after his dressing down by Snoke. Him losing that battle was so much more than just letting the enemy get away. It proved everything that he didn't want to believe about himself. That he isn't much like the Sith Lords of old that he worships, and that maybe, under his cool mask and his dark robes, isn't the heir apparent to Darth Vader, but a wimpy kid taking out his anger and frustration on the galaxy. And that's a really fun aspect of his character. Sure, he's got that raw talent, as Snoke says, but he's really not that great at wielding it. One of my favorite little character details is actually found in the Force Awakens visual dictionary of all places. In the section about his lightsaber's strange appearance, it states, "Though Kylo's weapon evokes an ancient feel, its components are modern. Its crude appearance suggests construction by an inexperienced hand." And I think that's pretty perfect. His lightsaber looks fiery and almost angry, but only because he really sucks at making lightsabers. He tried to create one that would look intimidating, evocative of the ancient Sith. And instead, well, in the words of that stormtrooper from Saturday Night Live,
"That thing looks dangerous, man. Poorly made, like a little kid made it."
He wants to be Darth Vader so badly, but he just isn't.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Which brings me to another interesting aspect of The Last Jedi, his offer to Rey to join him and try to break from the past completely. She rejects his offer, which I found a little disappointing at first because it would have been a really interesting twist. But it also makes a lot of sense, because they're at very different points in their lives, and they have very different views on the Jedi and the Sith. This is almost all new to Rey. She doesn't seem to have too much of an opinion on the Jedi as a whole, because what she's really looking for, as she says, is for someone to show her her place in all this. Ben Solo, on the other hand, is completely weighed down by the past. I'm sure when he went to the dark side, he thought he was getting out from living under the shadow of his parents and his uncle, legendary leaders of the rebellion and the last living Jedi. But he wasn't, not really. Instead, he just switched his hero worship to Darth Vader and the ancient Sith, constantly judging himself by their standards. So it doesn't really matter what side he's on, he's always going to feel like a failure. Is it any wonder then that he wants to tear it all down? What Adam Driver is really amazing at playing in this role is internal conflict. No matter how awful Kylo Ren's actions are, he's usually capable of convincing me within a single scene that maybe, just maybe, there's some hope for him. And then, nope, he's evil again. It's funny because this is something Star Wars has tried to do in the past with Anakin. In episodes 2 and 3, George Lucas tried to sell us on this very conflicted teen who would eventually turn to the dark side. The problem, though, was that Hayden Christensen wasn't able to play any of that convincingly. And in the end, there was no doubt in the audience's mind when he wanders on screen in Attack of the Clones and acts like a spoiled sociopath that, yeah, this guy's gonna be a problem.
And you will pay attention to my lead.
Why? What?
So in a weird way, Ben Solo is kind of the Anakin Skywalker I wish we always had. Someone capable of being petulant and doing truly horrible things, but also someone you could buy being redeemed. So cheer up, Ben, you're a lot closer to being your idol than you might think. Getting back to The Last Jedi, I wanted to talk a little bit about Kylo Ren's actions after Rey rejects his offer. After making his little speech about rejecting the past, he kind of reveals how incapable he is of doing that. When he goes down to Crate and takes command of the First Order's attack on the Resistance base, he handles it about as immaturely as he possibly could. And his cool, emotionless facade immediately comes crashing down the second Luke Skywalker's force projection shows up. He orders his entire fleet to attack one spot in the snow, buying the Resistance valuable time, and then goes out to face him head on. Then, after it's become clear that he's been tricked, he gets even angrier at the sight of the Millennium Falcon, his dead father's ship. And even Fenn notices how much he seems to hate it. These aren't the actions of someone who's ready and willing to leave the past behind like he claims. They're clearly showing the opposite. Ben Solo can't get over the past, and I'd be surprised if he ever does. The question of if Kylo Ren can be redeemed by the end of the trilogy comes up a lot, and it's an interesting question. My guess is that no. His anger, his resentment, and most importantly his actions have driven him too far gone. But if he can, I think that making peace with the past is the only way he'll be able to do it. Now, you might completely disagree with my reading of Kylo Ren, and that's totally fine. Different people will have different interpretations of the character. But I think the fact that we can have these discussions at all shows how great of a villain he is. Think back on the blockbusters of this year. Could we have this discussion about Steppenwolf, Hela, or the dozens of other generic villains we see in theaters every month? Not really, no. And even though I think The Last Jedi has some major flaws, Kylo Ren is a real bright spot, showing other franchises how to create a compelling villain. Hey guys, short video this week because of Christmas break, but I'd love to hear your ideas for what I should cover next month. I'll be checking out your comments, and until then, Happy New Year's, and I will see you all in 2018.